what that means for your child. So educate yourself. Another way you can educate yourself, this was a huge tool for me when Abby was little. They still do it. My parent mentor, Paula, gave me some information about the John Tracy Clinic. It's a clinic out in California. It goes from birth to 5 years old, I think. I think it goes to 5. It's a preschool correspondence course. Now, back in the day when we did it, everything was sent via mail. And I have given out probably all my packages. I have 2 left. And just to show you how old this thing is, this is what they sent me to go over. But y'all can look at this if you want to. It has, it's actually lesson plans. And there's all these lesson plans. They tell you what to do at home. They give you language opportunities. They give you ways that you can talk to your child every day, all day. You get to fill out a form. This is all online now, by the way. You get to fill out a form, and if you have any questions, they'll help you. They helped me with legal issues. Simple things, if you don't know, you can ask them, but it is all online. The one thing, the biggest thing that I got from that correspondence course, and we did it until Abbey was 5, she actually graduated from that program. She was going to speech, she started the school when she was 3, we did this at home, we talked and talked and talked. Because I think in the first packet I got, they said, every moment of your child's life is a language learning opportunity. Every single moment. And if you really wrap yourself around that and what that means, how much they can learn if they're amplified, if they're hearing, and if you're talking and waiting for them to respond. It's a language opportunity all day, every day. So that was one of the biggest things I got from that. I'm skipping through a lot of stuff because
we might have to have part 2.
I know. I did want to say 3 things. We did a lot of work early on with Abbey. I mean, it was constant. I mean, if I've left out so much stuff, but you know, that's for another day, another time. But early on, the more you can talk to them, the more work you can put in your child, the more they're going to benefit from later on. Abbey does study. I don't think she studies as much as some of her friends do. I know a lot of her friends struggle. They have C's, B's. Abby's an A-B student. And I think she's a little gifted because her dad didn't have to study a whole lot. I don't think she studies an extraordinary amount, you know. And I think that we put so much work in early on that things are easier for her now. And as she gets older, they're going to be easier. It's just so important for you guys to work so hard right now. The first thing I want to challenge you to do is to educate yourself. I know it's like I'm beating a dead horse, but it is so important to know what things you can do at home with your child, what type of services your child really needs, where to get those services, and that all comes through just searching out. Google it. You know, ask Teresa. They are a wealth of information here. Know all those things. The second thing I want to challenge you to do is keep your child amplified. Teresa said that earlier, and I said, you know, Abbey probably didn't know she could not have her implants or hearing aids out until a couple of years ago. It just wasn't an option for us. Luckily, she didn't try a whole lot, and I know, you know, some of you might say, oh, you know, Sally can't wear them in the car, she pulls them out, she throws them out the window, you know, Johnny, you know, can't wear them when there's a lot of noise, or it's easier to take them out when we're going over to Grandma's house because we're afraid we'll lose them. But what you're teaching your child is that it's okay not to wear them all the time. And I'm a big believer in we teach our children with everything we do and everything that we don't do. And I encourage you not to teach your child that it's not important to wear their aids or their implants, because it is so important. A hearing child hears 24/7. They don't have the option of not hearing. They hear in their sleep, you know, they startle. they don't have the option of turning it off. I didn't give Abby an option of turning it off, you know, and it served her really, really well. Then, let's see. And I also wanted, the last thing, and this is probably the most important thing, as Abbey alluded to earlier, to talk to your child all the time. Talk, 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 talk. And every once in a while, pause to listen, you know, pause to correct their speech, correct their syntax, their verb tense, whatever it is. But you cannot talk too much to your child. If you are in a public place and people are staring at you like you have lost your mind because you are just talking and talking and talking, you're doing it right. We talk about so much stuff all the time. When Abby was littler, she had experience books, and we probably did these for probably 3 years. And you know, it can be something as simple as, okay, here we go. I made chocolate pudding, okay? There is so much to be said about chocolate pudding. You would be amazed. It's cold, it's chocolate, it's sweet, it's smooth. It was good. You know, she loved these things, and it gave her a chance to see a written word, to hear a spoken word, you know, to put little fun things in it. And then eventually she got to where she could write it all herself, you know. And it helps with reading, writing. We probably have 55 of these little notebooks at home, but I wanted to share that one with you because it's just a part of the talking process. You know, the John Tracy Clinic will help you. Teresa will help you. Natalie is a huge resource to help you learn how to talk to your child. Just constantly talk to them. You can't give them too much information. You can't give them too much explanation. And your home needs to always just be buzzing with conversation. Our home was never quiet, and Abbey was an only child, and we talked all the time. Granted, I'm one of 7, so I grew up and comfortable in that environment, which served her well. But I wanted to also say that as great as this school is, and the teachers are phenomenal, speech-language paths are phenomenal, Elizabeth, Natalie, the audiologist, it's phenomenal. It's a great school. There's great schools like this all over the country, but it is not enough. As great as it is, you can't just drop your child off and expect them to get it. You've got to talk to them all the way here, drop them off when you pick them up, talk to them all the way home, talk to them all the time. So I wanted to leave you with those things. Just educate yourself as much as you can so that you know what language the service providers are talking. When you sit down at a meeting, you know what they're talking about. And then keep your child's amplification on. It is so important. Like I said, hearing impaired children, they have to work so much harder than hearing children to get just regular, incidental, everyday conversational language. Hearing children hear all the time, 24/7.